Just imagine, cruising down the road, feeling the wind rush past you, when suddenly everything changes. In an instant, you're lying on the pavement, your body broken, your life slipping away. And then standing right beside you is Jesus Christ. This is the incredible near-death experience of Tony Ellis, a man who walked the path of violence, crime, and near destruction, only to be given one final chance by the Son of God himself. Don't go anywhere. This might be the most powerful testimony you've ever heard. Here's a short clip of Tony in his own words.
I grew up on Albemarle Road, and that's where I did all my crimes at. That's where I was a dealer. That's where I was a robber. Less than a mile down the road on Albemarle Road where the incident happened, I actually shot a man one time, and he ran out in Albemarle Road and fell in Albemarle Road and bled until the ambulance come. And, I'm involved in high-speed chases on Albemarle Road. I've robbed dealers on the actual crimes committed on Albemarle Road in my youth. And for me to come back around and lose my life and Jesus come show himself to me on Albemarle Road is about as full circle as it can get, man.
Tony Ellis grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina. His childhood was far from easy, and by the time he was a teenager, he was deeply involved in a life of crime, violence, and firearms. At just 20 years old, he was sentenced to 12 years in federal prison. He had never been to prison before, and they sent him straight to a maximum security penitentiary, one of the most dangerous in the country. There, he witnessed violence daily, inmates getting killed, inmates evacuated by helicopter due to severe injuries. He realised if he ever made it out, he would never go back. After an appeal reduced his sentence, Tony was released after serving 8 years. He returned home, determined to change. He found work, took care of his children, and built a career, eventually owning his own landscaping business. But despite his success, something dark still lingered inside him, his violent tendencies. He drank, fought, and carried the weight of his past. Deep down, he knew something had to change. On April 16th, 2023, Tony received news that his son, facing serious criminal charges, might be able to get out of jail with only probation. It was a weight off his shoulders. That night, he decided to celebrate. He took his motorcycle out for a ride, his way of clearing his mind. He had a couple of beers, nothing excessive, and then headed home. Riding 45 miles per hour down a 4-lane highway, he never saw it coming. A blue Honda Pilot ran a stop sign and stopped right in front of him. Tony had no time to react. He crashed into the car, flipping through the air, landing 20 feet away in the oncoming traffic lane. His femur was broken in half, his shin bone was protruding, and half of his foot was gone. Every time his heart pumped, blood shot out of his leg. He tried to get up, but his right side collapsed beneath him. Then everything went black. Here's a short clip of Tony in his own words.
So when I lost consciousness, my soul left my body, and Jesus Christ was standing on that road with me. And I remember him clear as day. He was about 5'11", 5'10", and it was just like the most beautiful silhouette just glowing around him. He had shoulder length, golden bronze hair. His skin was the same dark golden bronze color, and he just lit the whole street up, man. It was like a star was sitting on the street. And as I'm standing beside him, I feel the strongest vibration I've ever felt in my life. It's like, it's just like my whole body is just it's just vibrating. And I'm looking at my body laying, my body laying in the street. I'm looking at my body laying in the street, and I'm watching civilians jump out their car and run and try to help me and panic around me. And I'm standing there beside Jesus Christ. I'm standing there watching it like it's a TV show or like it's happening to somebody else. And I remember a sense of regret coming over me. What are my kids going to do? What is my woman going to do? What's going to happen to our house? I don't have no will and testament. What's going to happen what are my dogs going to do? Like everything. And then the sense of peace just come over me. And it was like, don't worry about that. Your fight here on this earth is over. Jesus Christ is here to take you with him.
Tony was still watching from outside his body alongside Jesus when the ambulance arrived. The paramedics rushed to him. "We don't have a pulse," one of them yelled. Here's a short clip of Tony in his own words.
Me and Jesus are standing at the back of the ambulance, looking in the back of the ambulance, watching them work on me diligently. They're working hard. Like, they're panicking. They're scrambling. They're doing all kind of stuff to me. And no heartbeat. They're panicking because I still ain't got no heartbeat. Now they're hitting me with the defibrillators. Pow! They hit me with it 4 or 5 times. And I could tell that they were losing hope. I could sense the discouragement inside of them that they were about to give up on me, you know? Man grabs the defibrillators, you know, and decides to try it one more time. Boom, he hits me one more time, and then my heart beat. Beep, beep. And now my heart kept beating. And now they're excited. They got their energy back. Now they're working on me. Well, when my heart started beating, my soul left beside Jesus and went, and now I'm laying on the gurney looking up at the top of the ambulance, but I can still see Jesus clear as day standing at the back of the ambulance, bro. Like, no bullcrap. It's just like so overwhelming that Jesus is standing there. I'm not worried about my body. I'm not worried about nothing, man. I wasn't worried. Jesus was right there, bro. It's like, oh my God, Jesus is here. So then everything goes black. Boom. Everything goes black as day. And I go back to about 5 different incidents in my life where by all means, I should have been dead.
As Tony drifted in and out of consciousness, he was taken through every near-death experience he had ever survived. The shootouts, the stabbings, the car accidents, all the times he should have died. And then Jesus spoke again, placing his words into Tony's mind. "I was beside you the whole time. I am showing myself to you now to assure you that I am your Lord and Saviour. I have always been with you. Live righteously. Share your story. This is your last chance." And with that, Tony woke up. Tony spent months recovering in the hospital. He lost his leg, went through multiple surgeries, and battled depression. But he never doubted what he had seen. Again and again, God sent people into his life to remind him what he saw was real. A stranger praying over him in the hospital, an Amazon driver who had lost her son on the same day as Tony's accident. Everywhere he turned, signs confirmed his experience. And now, Tony is sharing his story with the world. Here's a short clip of Tony in his own words.
If I hadn't got my butt back in my truck that day and asked the Lord for forgiveness and meant it from the bottom of my heart, I'd be in hell right now, man. And I feel that 100%. I would be burning in hell right now. This house would be gone. My kids would be lost without it. You never realize how much people need you until they don't have you no more, you know?
If you feel that my videos are worthy of your subscription, I would be eternally grateful. If you would like to binge watch anything and everything to do with the afterlife, click onto this end screen or save it for later when you want to sit back and relax and remember, you are never truly alone.